and welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Sarasota. We're here to support you in finding a personal relationship with the God of your understanding and discovering what you already know. My name is Kathleen Frankert. I'm a licensed spiritual practitioner at the center. I greet you with Namaste. Namaste is the Sanskrit word that means the divinity in me recognizes and honors the divinity in you. Each week, we begin our time together by affirming our vision and mission statement. We do that to bring it to life for ourselves and for our spiritual community. The words can now be seen on your screen, and I invite you to join in reading them with me. Our vision is empowering spiritual growth as a loving, inclusive worldwide community. And this is our mission. We teach science of mind principles and other life-affirming spiritual truths. We explore, we learn, we grow, we connect, honoring all paths to God. We offer in-person and online weekly services, classes, workshops, affirmative prayer support, and other spiritual tools. We create opportunities for joyful social connection, community outreach, and service. We celebrate the awakening of our innate spiritual magnificence. So now I invite you to give yourself this gift of quiet reflection as we prepare for our time of prayer and meditation. Allow your eyes to close as we turn within. Our music director, Bob Teesdale, and guest soloist, Kassie Coykendall, will share a Karen Drucker song to calm our minds and open our hearts, entitled, I Am So Blessed.
I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so blessed. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so blessed. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so blessed. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so blessed.
In this moment of appreciation for all the goodness of life, I invite you to take as your own these inspiring words of Ernest Holmes, the architect of our philosophy. He writes, "Nothing in our thought about God should produce sadness or depression. Rather, it should do quite the reverse, because our faith in and love of God should give us such a confidence and such a sense of security that we should indeed be able to say, 'Joy to the world, the Lord has come.' We need to come to realize that God is not in some far-off place, but instead that God is an inward, intimate presence, closer to us than our very breath. God cannot separate itself from us, but too often we separate ourselves from God. I now affirm that there is nothing in me that can doubt this presence or limit the power of good in my life. There is nothing in me that can separate me from the love of God, and I accept the joy of living in the very midst of it. The divine presence leads me on the pathway of peace. It directs my thoughts, my words, and my actions into constructive channels of self-expression. It unites me with others in love, in kindness, and in consideration. Today, I accept this action gratefully and realize that it brings into my experience everything necessary to my happiness. I affirm for others that which I accept for myself, for good cannot belong to me alone. For this realization for me and for all hearing these words, I am so grateful. In full faith and expectancy of this perfect intelligence now unfolding for the greatest and highest good, I declare this to be so, and so it is. Today, our founding minister and spiritual director, Reverend Karen Wolfson, is with us. Her talk is entitled Joy for No Reason. Before we hear from Reverend Karen, it's my pleasure to again introduce Kassie Coykendall and Bob Teesdale to present this Karen Drucker song to inspire us and set the tone for the message, Song in My Soul. Welcome, Kassie and Bob.
My soul, it sings I am home. Everywhere I go, it sings I am home. There is a song in my soul, it sings I am home. Everywhere I go, it sings I am home. I am whole, I am whole. I am whole, I am whole. I am whole. It sings I am healed. I take a breath and know that I am healed. There is a song in my soul. It sings I am healed. I take a breath and know that I am healed. 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 It sings I am loved. It whispers in my ear that I am loved. There is a song in my heart. It sings I am loved. It whispers in my ear that I am loved. 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 It sings of my joy. It bubbles up from deep inside. Pure, sweet joy. There is a song in my soul. It sings of my joy. It from deep inside, pure sweet joy. I enjoy, I enjoy, I enjoy, I enjoy, I am joy, I am joy, I am joy, I am joy. There is a song in my soul that sings I am love, a beaming ray of spirit's light. I am love. There is a song in my soul that sings I am love, a beaming ray of spirit's light. I am love. 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 I am love, I am love, I am love, I am love. I am home,
I am home,
I am healed,
I am healed,
I am loved,
I am loved,
I am joy, pure joy. I'm home,
I am home,
I am healed,
I am healed,
I am loved,
I am loved,
I am joy, pure joy. I am peace,
I am peace,
I am well,
I am well,
all is well.
all is well.
I am well.
Thank you, Kassie and Bob, for that beautiful song. There is a song in my soul. It sings of my joy. It bubbles up from deep within, pure, sweet joy. I am joy. I am joy. Well, in view of that, my title today is Joy for No Reason. That's right, joy for no reason. Actually, the theme for these next 3 weeks is feelings. Feelings, all of them. I've noticed that there's a tendency especially on the spiritual journey, to assume that it's all about feeling good, and to discount, to dismiss, to avoid, or even deny all of our other feelings. Yes, the teaching of Science of Mind places great emphasis on the importance of changing our thoughts in order to change our experiences, and to more positive experiences, of course, which of course impacts our feelings. And this practice has had an incredibly positive impact in my life over the years. But let's be careful that we don't use that to engage in what is called spiritual bypass. Spiritual bypass is when we use spirituality to ignore, dismiss, negate, deny, bypass all aspects of a situation, a condition, and of course, feelings, assuming that that will result in healing and transformation. Not true. And I've also noticed that in some situations, it's more complex, and simply flipping the switch to change my thoughts from negative to positive, it just doesn't work. And then I feel guilty and inept and discouraged, and maybe I'm just not getting it. Have you ever felt that way? Ever had that experience? Well, digging more deeply, I have discovered, quite the contrary, that there is a line in that song that you heard. There's a song in my heart, it sings, I'm whole. Aha. Our wholeness means just that, everything about us. The messiness of being fully human, our capacity for pleasure and pain and hurt and happiness, agony and ecstasy, the whole of us. Since this next 3 weeks will be all about feelings, here are 5 things that I've realized about feelings. Of course, there's much more, but these are 5 highlights, and it's a little bit of a preview of what's to come. Number 1, all feelings are valid. By that, I mean I no longer tell myself or anyone else that I or they should or should not feel a particular feeling. Number 2, feelings that are stuffed or denied, buried, are buried alive, and they will show up again and again. Sometimes disguised or redirected, but they are alive and they will re-emerge. Number 3, feelings impact and energize the words of our thoughts and affirmative prayers, making them far more than just words. And number 4, feelings are creative. And number 5, feelings can provide guidance for us, often more accurately than even our thinking and analyzing can do. So, today I'm going to start this series with some very good news, exploring how we can experience joy for no reason. Joy for no reason. And then next week we'll take a loving look at the gift of welcoming our feelings, all of them. And then the third week we'll explore using the creative energy of our feelings. But first, let's check in with each other. I'm so happy knowing you're out there. I feel happy knowing you're out there. How are you doing? Let's stay in touch as 2022 unfolds. And one upcoming way for us to be in touch in person is our May 22nd brunch at the Sarasota Yacht Club. Watch for the details at the end of this broadcast, and also go to our website and our newsletters. Be sure to RSVP if you are coming, and I hope you will be coming. I would love to see you. Let's get together. It's May 22nd. Brunch on the Bay. And do know that I continue to affirm you for you a year of vibrant wonder. And let's just say, joy for no reason. And to you, our team of financial contributors, you too are a wonder. You're an absolutely essential part of all that makes it possible for us to share our message, our caring, and our connection. So thank you. So feelings. In the course of a day, just think about the incredible range of feelings you experience. For starters, looking at the news headlines in the morning, I feel it's visceral. And lately, so much of it is agonizing. So there's a feeling. There's a whole set of feelings. But then I have to get on with my day and my responsibilities as you do. So I try to set aside those first feelings. I don't try to stuff them or deny them, but I have to set them aside and turn toward the people and the tasks of the day. And of course, many of those people and those tasks evoke good feelings, and some not so much. And so it goes through the day. Surprises, of course, all kinds of feelings. We are such beautiful, complex beings in our humanness, just a rich tapestry of feelings. Interestingly, as I revisited this theme for joy today, I found an amazing number of articles about the difference between happiness and joy. I don't want to overthink it, but to sum it up, there's a general agreement that happiness comes as a response to external stimuli, while joy exists within us and is impervious to what's going on outside of us. So today's message is about ways to recognize and consistently experience that deep inner joy for no reason that is at your very core. Now, the operative word here is inner. This joy is contingent on nothing. What I mean is, it's not I feel joy because something happened or because I got something, or it isn't about I can't feel joy because something happened outside of me. It's contingent on nothing, and it's inside. I can't help but recall the example of my grandmother, who lived to be 107, and that was when living to be 80 or 90 was considered a miracle. 107, and she had that joy always. And her life was not all that easy. One of her children died at the age of 10. She cared for her ailing husband for many years. They had very little money. She had several serious and painful health events through her life, and yet, whenever I'd call her on the phone or see her, I'd say, "Hi, Grandma, how are you?" And her response always was, praising the Lord, happy in the joy of the Lord. And she wasn't a Pollyanna at all. She was a practical, hardworking, sensible, responsible person, and also always joyful, regardless of circumstances. What an example. Now, Dr. Roger Teal, the Minister Emeritus at the Mile High Center for Spiritual Living, wrote a terrific book called This Life is Joy. This Life is Joy. And in it he says, connecting with your inner joy doesn't mean that difficulties or hardships will pass you by. It does not mean you will cease feeling pain or grief. But what it does mean is that beneath all of this, the healing balm of spiritual joy will comfort you. The inner strength of spiritual joy will uphold you, and the inner peace of spiritual joy will inspire you. You know, at those difficult times, maybe joy, because of our conditioning and, commonly accepted opinions, that might be difficult. So here are some synonyms that I think would work. Comfort, peace, contentment, serenity, well-being, joy for no reason. Now, Dr. Teal continues in his book. He says, despite the pain of loss and grieving, I have still sensed this joy and known with certainty that it was all part of the tapestry of life's magnificence. And he asks, what if beyond the drama that repeats itself over and over at the surface levels of human experience, there is a larger truth about life? Well, there is. There is a mighty rushing river of deep joy at the center of all life. Oh yes, there's also a roller coaster ride of pleasure and pain at the surface of the human experience, and yet transcending this is a joy that is the very effervescence of life itself. This deep joy is an eternal quality of spirit, and it is who you really are. Now, spiritual teachers and mystics through the ages have been very familiar with the human condition, with hardships and challenges and difficulties and pain, and yet they have nonetheless proclaimed the great and good news about life, that we can have and are intended to experience this joy for no reason. For example, Jesus the Master Teacher said, in the world you will have tribulation, but behold, I have overcome the world. And then he continued, I have come that you might have life abundantly. Ask and ye shall receive, that your joy may be full. And in the Quran, for those whose hearts find satisfaction in the remembrance of God is inward joy. Hinduism says the infinite is the source of joy. Ask to know the infinite. In Sanskrit, thou art God, and God enjoys being God. Now, Ernest Holmes, the architect of our teaching, wrote about this in many ways at many times. And one of the things he said is, I believe in a religion of happiness and joy. There's a joy of God, let's experience it and accept joy as our divine birthright. So the question is, how can we more clearly recognize and experience this inner joy? Now, there's a researcher named Matthew Quan Johnson who discovered, and this may be no surprise to you, but he discovered that people find experiences of joy difficult to articulate, that the very nature of joy pushes the boundaries of our ability to communicate about lived experience through mere spoken language. Yeah, I can get that. See, joy is not something you do. This joy is something you are. See yourself as you are, because your spiritual essence is boundless and infinite. Emma Curtis Hopkins, a wonderful early New Thought teacher, said it this way. She said, my joyous song of life is the joy of spirit. And as expressions of the Creator, of God, as creations of the Creator by itself, out of itself, which is pure joy, well then, joy is in our spiritual DNA. The Sufi poet Hafiz wrote, ever since joy heard your name, It has been running through the streets trying to find you. And several times in the last week, God has even come to my door asking for your address. And here's a thought. When experiencing this joy, we do not lose ourselves. We become more truly ourselves. There's a gospel song Bob has sung for us on more than one occasion, and I love these words. The world didn't give it to me, so the world can't take it away. No, the world didn't give it to me, so the world can't take it away. It's within. It's who I am. So while I said joy is what you are and is not dependent on what you do, there is in a way something to do. But it's not about getting something or making something happen so that you will have joy. The doing is really about getting out of the way so our innate joy can shine. Ralph Waldo Emerson said, most of the shadows of this life are caused by us standing in the way of our own shadow. So here are 4 ways to get out of the way. Number 1, practice mindfulness. Practice mindfulness, being fully present to the moment and each experience. Dr. Teal, in his book, tells about attending a conference that included the Dalai Lama. And he writes, to my delight, His Holiness took a seat right next to me at the family-style lunch that was being served. And I began talking with His Holiness, and he acknowledged me cordially as the food was being served. And we began to eat, and I continued to talk. And then, most graciously, gently, and lovingly, His Holiness reached over, placed his hand on my forearm, and said quietly, "We eat now. We eat now." As I shifted into the mindfulness of this moment, fully present, I felt a rush of joy, says Dr. Teal. Eating silently with this beautiful soul, I loved the meal, I loved a simple being, and being with him. And furthermore, I loved being out of my head. I realized later that our indestructible inner joy is very often reclaimed when we get out of our heads. And another way of being mindful, Rabbi Harold Kirshner wrote this. He said, when your life is filled with the desire to see the holiness in everyday life, something magical happens. Ordinary life becomes extraordinary. With each new circumstance that comes your way, another opportunity presents itself to nourish your soul. And the very process of life begins to nourish your soul. Nourish your soul. The Greek word for joy describes it as good mood for the soul. I love that. So the second thing about getting out of the way so that our innate joy can be felt and experienced and show up is notice the times when you're caught in the seductive pull of looking for joy, if only something outside yourself would occur. Now, I'm not suggesting that those kinds of things can't happen and it should be off the table. Oh no, but just notice those times when you're blocking your inner innate sense of contentment and well-being and joy because you're yearning for if only. Socrates supposedly said this when he saw a heap of gold and jewelry being carried through the streets. He exclaimed with joy, "Look how many things there are that I don't need or want." Joy, contentment. The ancient wisdom of the Tao Te Ching. Hold fast to the great form within and let the world pass as it may. Then the changes of life will not bring pain, but contentment, well-being, and joy. And number 3, your inner joy is expansive, so it seems obvious to turn your attention from those thoughts and actions that contract you and toward those that feel expansive. You know that feeling, but we so often ignore it or discount it. And yet, That feeling of expansiveness when we're feeling or doing something that not contracts us but expands us is a clear indicator of our inner joy. When I'm feeling expansive, I am more generous and I effortlessly open to life in so many ways. I feel so alive and my innate joy is so evident. When you do this, you might find yourself erupting in joyful laughter. Jean Houston said this. She said, at the height of laughter, the universe is flung into a kaleidoscope of new possibilities. I'm in for that. Let's laugh. Enjoy. And number 4, finally, discover your inner joy as you practice this. And I would say this is the underpinning of it all. Remind yourself that life is continually conspiring in your favor. Life's one impulse is to thrive by means of you. The early New Thought minister and writer Raymond Charles Barker said it this way, and it's so reassuring. He said, God, and you can say universe, spirit, infinite intelligence, the one. God is where I am. And God will always be with me. God's hand will never loose mine, nor will God's love let me go. Now that is the essence of joy, no matter what. So Kassie and Bob are going to send us into our week with a song by Eddie Watkins Jr. that can't help but waken us to our innate divine joy. God is so good all the time. I'll see you next week.
I don't care what's on TV about the state of the economy. I don't believe most of what I see. I know what I know to be. God is so good all the time. God is so good all the time. God is so good,
So good,
so good
so good.
all the time.
all the time.
Walking by faith and not by sight, 'cause what seems wrong today, tomorrow might seem right. All is well and all is good and unfolding as it should, 'cause God is so good all the time. God is so good all the time. God is so good,
So good,
so good
so good.
all the time.
all the time.
God is so good through the highs and lows, so good through the troubles and the woes, so good through the peaks and valleys, so good to feel the spirit inside me, so good all the time. God is so good through my darkest hour, so good I call on the mighty power, so good to carry me through, so good that I believe it's true, so good,
So good,
so good all the time.
all the time.
God is so good through my darkest hour, so good I call on the mighty power, so good to carry me through, so good that I believe it's true, so good,
So good,
so good
so good.
all the time,
all the time.
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 so good,
So good,
so good
so good.
all the time.
all the time.
Thanks, Kathy and Bob. Yes, God is so good. What a great song to anchor Reverend Karen's inspiring and joy-filled message. Thank you all for reminding us of the goodness of life all around us, always. At the Center for Spiritual Living Sarasota, we're pleased to support you with prayer, inspiration, encouragement, and opportunities for virtual community and connection. And now it is time to share our offering that supports our ability to continue to be here for you. There are 3 easy ways to contribute. On your screen, you'll see our website, www.cslsarasota.com, where you can select the donate button, which allows you to contribute via PayPal or by credit card, or email or mail a check to our address shown there on our website. Or you can arrange automatic contributions through your own online banking. And now I invite you to take your virtual gift in your hand, place it over your heart, blessing it as you share it, and know this with me. My gift goes forth to heal, to bless, and to prosper, and the divine flow returns it to me, multiplied abundantly. And now let us declare together our offering affirmation. The words are here on your screen. I give thanks that I may share of my good, my love, and my support. Thank you so much. Do you have a prayer request? I invite you to visit the website and click on the green prayer request button, where you may seek prayer support for any intention you may have or challenge you may be facing. We have 5 licensed spiritual practitioners, Ron Frost, Jim Grove, Nicole Leeds, and Sean Scanlon, and me, who are available to know and affirm spiritual truth with and for you. Our practitioners are also available by appointment for 1-hour spiritual coaching sessions. These sessions offer the opportunity to explore a deeper understanding and practical application of the spiritual truth in the midst of your problem or challenging issue. For more information, check out their page at our website by selecting the Staff tab on the left. Also on our website, you can sign up to receive our weekly email newsletter or check out our Facebook page for posts about upcoming events and find past services and videos on our YouTube channel. I have a couple of announcements today. We are gathering for our next Reunite and Rejoice brunch next Sunday, May 22nd at 11:30 a.m. at the beautiful Sarasota Yacht Club. This will be a great opportunity to reconnect with old friends and meet new ones as we enjoy food, fellowship, and the incomparable view of Sarasota Bay. We hope you will join us and bring a friend who may like to get to know our community. We need your help in planning this get-together, so please email to this address, cslsrq@comcast.net, by tomorrow, May 16th, if you plan to attend, and let us know how many are coming. We look forward to seeing you there. And are you looking for a way to connect with this community between Sundays? Then I invite you to our Spiritual Living Circle, which meets via Zoom every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Each week, we have a lively discussion hour that is facilitated by licensed spiritual practitioner Jim Grove about an article from this month's Signs of Mind magazine. The article discussed this week is entitled Sparks of Divine Love. If you are not currently on the email list, please drop Jim a note at the address shown here, and he will send you the Zoom link and article and discussion guide. These circles are always open to newcomers and to all at no charge. It's a great way to have a midweek faith lift. We hope to see you there. And now, as we conclude our sacred time together, let us do so with the intention to live in light, love, health, and peace. I invite you to listen or join in singing our closing song, Let There Be Peace on Earth. Thank you so much for being with us.